What is going on, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to episode number 10 of the Mutagents live stream. Boys, we did it. 10 episodes.
Wow.
9 in the can.
So quick.
That's nearly a
10 on the
year,
way.
man.
I know, man.
People are still listening to us nearly a year. Wow.
I know. What is wrong with these people?
I
No,
know.
but we love it, man. We appreciate
pay 'em
everyone
well.
we appreciate everyone that watches and supports us. I will rip through the chat in just a moment and say g'day to everyone. Before I do that, we're going to bring in our special guest. But before I do that, how are you guys going? You all good?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Collecticon this weekend.
I know, man. I know. We've got Mutagents tonight. We've got Collecticon this Sunday. Dino's just dropped a video. I'm about to drop another one. So it's all good stuff this week.
Everyone, what a ripper of a week.
It's all happening. It's all happening. But guys, for tonight's episode number 10 of the Mutagents live stream, we have a special guest joining us. Unfortunately, the fourth Mutagent, Enzo. Well, I say unfortunately for us, fortunately for him, he's on holidays at the minute, celebrating his birthday with his family. So he's taken the night off. We look forward to having Enzo link up with us again for episode number 11. But in the meantime, we just, we need to keep that quartet going. 4 is obviously the magic number when it comes to the Turtles. So we've got to keep it going like that as well. So joining us tonight, we've got a very special guest. You've probably seen him hanging around in the chat. You guys probably follow him on social media. His name is Scree. He's a big-time collector of turtles, just like us. But I'm excited to chat with him because he collects a lot of the stuff that we collect, but a lot of different things that I don't collect as well. So I'm excited to learn a little bit more about him and his love of turtles. So let's say g'day to Scree.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Doing good. It's so different, like watching from the backstage and checking you guys out do your thing than actually sitting in the audience. It's actually kind of cool. So I'm honored to be here, though. I'm excited.
Well, mate, we're excited to have you, man. So, yeah, we definitely appreciate you linking up with us, mate. You always fly the flag for us and for the show. So, when it comes to a special guest, Dino was quick to suggest you and couldn't think of anyone more fitting, mate. So we appreciate you joining us. Honored. Like I said, man. We want to learn about you, mate. We want to learn about, what are your early sort of nostalgic memories as far as turtles go. I'm sure there's a lot of crossover with Dan and Dean and myself, but I'm sure there's some unique memories that you have as well. And obviously we want to hear about all of the different, aspects of the franchise that you love and collect these days. So we're going to get straight into that. Then we're going to talk cards, which is very fitting because obviously trading cards are a big part of the Ninja Turtles history, I suppose, especially, going back to the 80s and 90s. And Scree's a big time card guy. So we thought that was a good topic to be discussing while you jump on. And we've got some other stuff to talk about as well. But before we get to all that, just want to say g'day to everybody who's joined us early in the chat. First of all, we've got Nate, the Retro Tinker. Hey, Nate, thanks for tuning in early, mate. We appreciate you.
Welcome.
We've got Adam. Hey, buddy. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you this Sunday at Collecticon.
Yeah, is he be back?
Yep, he was texting me today just about some of the sellers that are going to be there this time round that weren't there last time round. So I'm assuming Adam's going to be there. We've got, speaking of someone who wasn't at the last one, who's going to be at this one, we've got Retro Cartel Collectibles. G'day, Carl.
He's got a big hug ready for me.
I love it. We've got Monique. G'day, Monique.
Mrs.
Well, look, I was fashionably late getting backstage to to bring it all together because the Totally Taylor Retro fan went and dropped a video about half an hour ago, and I couldn't help myself.
This guy.
Half an hour, 15 minutes.
Hey, Jonathan. Hope you're doing well, mate.
Hey, buddy.
We got Maddie. Hey, Maddie.
Oh, Enzo is here.
We got Dino. We had a great chat with Dino on the weekend. Dean,
was really fun.
I'm going to get confused here with the two Deans, but Dean, who is joining me here, hosted his first ever live stream and knocked it out of the park, and it was awesome, man. We had a chat with Dino from Geek Strong and had a great way to start our Sunday morning. It was Saturday evening for Dino.
Yeah.
We've got the Minikins guys.
Hey, boys. See you in a couple of days.
Yep, looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend. We've got Sean.
Turtles.
G'day, Sean. Now, while I'm here on Sean's comment, I just want to give Sean a massive shout out. That Sean doesn't have a surname on his YouTube username, so I'm assuming he's the Sean that just sent this to me. Sean hooked us up with the TMNT joke book, which is double in his collection, and I was super grateful that he decided to send that to me. And not only that, boys, check this out. Sean has been experimenting with like laser etching and made me a Mutagents laser etch coaster.
Wow.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
That's cool.
So
Is it like one of those light up?
It doesn't light up. No, it's like frosted. You know what I mean? It's like a laser kind of frosted. So I've got my best friends are mutants beverage mug on top of my Mutagents coaster. So big shout out, Sean. I do appreciate that, mate.
Sean,
cool.
That is sick.
It's
Very
awesome.
cool.
We got Jewel. G'day, Jewel.
Hello, Jewel.
Jewel.
Hopefully, get to see you this weekend, Jewel. I know we
coming this weekend. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, man.
We've got Carl giving us a hard time. G'day, Nick.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us, mate.
It was my hair, buddy. Hey, Nick.
G'day, Dan. Appreciate you tuning in,
Dan.
mate. Hope your Monday is going all right so far.
Hope your lunch break will be nice. And there's
We've got the fourth mutagen,
holiday,
Enzo.
mate.
Hope you're enjoying your trip, good friend. TMNT, TCG, we are absolutely talking cards and excited to rip into it.
Is this the guy? That one there, I think he's making his own version of cards.
Is he really?
That fella, yeah. If I am,
Yeah,
right.
he's doing like a playable ones, yeah. On his
Yeah, they are cool.
Oh,
That's interesting.
I like that. I like that. G'day, Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Adam's confirmed that the full family's coming this Sunday, which is awesome. We look forward to seeing not just you, but the family as well. Shane Coe's joining us.
Shane.
Alrighty, that brings us up to speed. So man, we've got a great turnout early in the chat. So guys, thank you so much once again for turning out, man. It wouldn't be the same without you. But now that we're up to date on the chat, now that we've welcomed Scree, Scree, like I said, man, I don't want to put you in the hot seat too much. I'm sure we've all got questions and stuff for you, but why don't you just kick us off by maybe just telling us a little bit about your earliest memories of Turtles, like we were discussing before we went live, mate. Was it the cartoon for you? Was it the figures? Was it the cards? The movies? What was it that got you into it in the first place? And what are you collecting nowadays? What's your focus when it comes to the Turtles and collecting nowadays?
Yeah, so I'm like you guys. I grew up in the 80s, the 90s. My earliest memory of the Turtles definitely was the cartoons. Waking up every morning watching the cartoon with my brothers. I got two other brothers, so we used to always, fight and wrestle after the Power Rangers, after all the cool stuff on the morning cartoons when it was allowed on the mornings. Things like that, and then just collecting all the figures over time. And we had a toy world really good, like close by. My mum used to always go to. So we used to get all the Turtles from there. And then she had, I don't know if you guys had it where you are. It's like a Retrovision. It's like an electronic shop.
Yeah. Retrovision.
Yeah. So the guy that owned that, he used to order toys from overseas. So we got a lot of the overseas, like He-Man and like G.I. Joes and the Corps and stuff like that. So when you guys were saying on one episode, the horror figure ones, the Vampire Donnie, the Werewolf Leo and all that. Yeah, so actually I had them when I was a kid. So I had the Donnie and my brother had Leo. Yeah. So when I was like, wait. Cool. And I asked Mum and she's like, yeah, I got them like from a guy from Retrovision who used to get them all brought over from overseas. So I remember that. I remember always going to those two stores and checking them out. It was always like a good time. And it's like you guys grew up with it. Every Christmas was always like a new Turtle or a new He-Man or a new G.I. Joe. Well, actually it wasn't G.I. Joes. It was more Corps. That was what we said. Couldn't afford the G.I. Joe, so we got the Corps. So
love Corps figures, man.
Yeah, so that was now it's a thing. So I was like, damn, I used to have like if I went to the house where I grew up in and dug the backyard up, there'd be thousands in the backyard. There'd be hundreds. We used to throw them around.
You didn't know there weren't G.I. Joes back then. You just thought you had a lot of.
No, we knew that with the Corps because we had friends that going, they're not G.I. Joes, they're Corps. What are they, man? Why have you got Corps? What's this? And it's like, hey, I'd rather get something that has like a 10-pack, the same price as a 1-pack. Come on, man. Yeah, what are you talking about? So that was my biggest memory.
That's for sure.
Oh, 100% they were. Like I just remember coming home after every first day back at school from holiday, and Mum would have laid out on the beds for us 3 boys with like all the corpse and machines and all the vehicles and stuff. So it was always cool. That was a memory. So yeah. So then it came more the turtles, because my brothers and I, we would like pretend to be the turtles. So it was always one of those things where you could always, when you think of the turtles, you think of your brothers, because you used to always dress up and play around as, you know, each character. So yeah, that's probably my earliest memories, I think, doing those kind of things.
That's awesome,
man. But yeah,
that's love. Everyone's memories are so close to each other. We all had great childhoods.
It is interesting though.
Yeah,
it is interesting though with Scree having the Universal Monsters, because like they were 1993. They probably didn't, you know, they probably wouldn't have been here in Australia until 1994. So it's interesting because like I was into the Turtles early, but then, you know, by 92 I was kind of moving out to wrestling. So it's cool that you had some of those later wave figures, because most of us remember like I mean, Dino, you were into Turtles for ages. I suppose you know, you were getting the Toon figures and stuff, but my memories are really just like the first 2 waves, maybe the start of 1990. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I never got Universals, so I think it started to die off there.
Yeah.
Because what? Yeah, I would have been in year 3 by then.
I would have loved to have had the Universal ones, but I didn't even know about it.
See, I didn't even know they were a thing like you guys said until like I watched your episode and I was like, wait. So I ran back to Mum's to see if it was still there. Unfortunately, they weren't there. But so all I remember was I had the Donnie the Vampire. Yeah, or in a secondhand shop somewhere for like $1. But yeah, I just remember the Leo and the Mikey, and that was it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Because that brought up the conversation with Mum. That's why I was asking you, how did you get these figures when, like, I'm pretty sure they weren't even released in Australia? She's like, oh yeah, the guy down at Retrovision used to order heaps of stuff in from overseas, and that's what it was. Yeah, like he had a lot of He-Man,
but later, like
they might have. Yeah, she used to always say she used to go to Toy World, and because they're like next to each other, so you used to like compete with prices. So it was always, you know, always had the special bin. So yeah.
Gosh, if only we could go back in time and raid some of those like bargain bins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just.
Right.
So are you on a bit of a hunt these days for the vintage turtles, and in what sort of like capacity do you think you're going towards that collection?
Look, my collection is all over the shop, to be honest. Like I've got a vintage here, new here, in the middle somewhere there. It's just I just get what I can get, to be honest. Like
yeah,
I love the vintage. It's the market's just going straight up right now, so it's kind of like I'm staying away from vintage for a little bit, but the sad thing is a lot of the stuff that we think that's still new is becoming vintage as well. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that's a vintage one now. Okay, yeah. I'll get that one. So, but yeah, my collection sort of like it varies. It always varies. So it's
I mean, it happens. And even the newer waves of turtles are starting to become, like you said, vintage. So 2003, they're 20 years old now. And you got the 2012, 10 years old. But even the new, like I know you buy a lot of the, Mutant Mayhem figures. So even
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. There's like too many of them.
Yeah, but it's like even they have become hard to find. Select figures, Bebop, Rocksteady, Splinter. They're just tough ones to find, and it's just a pain in the ass. And it's not just Australia. That's just all over. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah. How often do you ever find like a 2003 figure complete? I don't even think I've seen one in the wild at a toy show. Like they're always just in the bottom of a bin with no weapons, you know. So, and that's the line I actually would like to get the turtles from, because they are a cool looking figure. But,
they are wicked.
You never see, so it's going to be harder to get, and they're going to be worth more eventually.
Yeah, I took an opportunity to pick up a bunch of the 2012 figures, which are not great molds. The TV show was fantastic, great stories, but the figures were really, you could see the change in safety procedures, and that had hit the figures, so they got bigger and fatter and bulkier. So you didn't get as much beautiful detail that we all love from the vintage line. But even they're hard to find these days. So everything becomes vintage, I guess.
It does.
It's interesting. It's interesting though. Like you'd have to think that the 2003 and maybe the 2012 weren't made in the same volumes as like the 88, 89, 90
Yeah.
figures, because even though most people, at least in our community, seem to be chasing the original vintage line, to your guys' points, like you don't see the 2003 stuff. Like it's not like it's just plentiful and you see it everywhere at toy fairs cheap and stuff like that. I can't remember the last time I would have seen a complete figure.
I wouldn't know what a complete figure is for the 03 line, because I know they came out with more than just what we classify as their standard weapons. Like Leo doesn't just have his 2 katanas. Like they have other little bits that I just wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'd have to do some research for sure. It's not something I'm chasing, so it's not something I'm super familiar with. Adam's saying he has 3. Sorry, 03 or 4 brothers complete. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean that even for me that would be something that would be pretty cool to have, even though I don't really collect 2000 stuff. But just to have the 4 brothers in that guys all complete would be pretty cool.
I love how their mask goes off the back of them, like it's actually part of the figure. I love how they do that on it. Like the vintage ones always that little,
Yeah, they are, aren't they? I do have the 4 brothers from the 03 and the 2012, but I just went with their standard weapons. So I didn't know. There's a couple more people, to say hello.
So SoCal Shaolin, hey buddy, hope you're doing well, man. Tuning in all the way from San Diego. I'm thinking at a guess it's probably like maybe, I don't know, man, 10 a.m. or something there. So we appreciate you tuning in early for us, mate. That's awesome. And Adam's asking, did we all plan to wear hats? No, we didn't.
I always wear a hat.
Dino's hats are non-negotiable for Dean. But no, I don't know. I didn't put a heck of a lot of thought into the outfit tonight, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah. And that comment, for that line, I know that who is it? I forgot his name now. The last figure they brought out in the 03 line. Oh my god!
I know they brought out the 4 brothers. That's it.
What's his name? The green trash guy. Fuck. Sorry.
Muckman.
Muckman. Dear God, get me off. Muckman. Yes, Muckman was the last figure in that. That never came to Australia, I don't believe. So he's really expensive. I'm talking like over $100 now to get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. He's got some weird variant in the timeline of Turtles.
He does. He does, doesn't he? And Joe Eyeball.
I can't. Jonathan's talking about he picked up 2 lots of the 03 series. The sewer lair is awesome. I can't picture the sewer from that.
It's the one I've got. You know,
the one that's like super tall.
Three tower one. Yeah, it's kind of like like a sewer portion and then like a street portion.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Got the cardboard.
That 03 one, was it? I thought it was later.
Was that 03?
I don't know.
I thought that was 2012 or something.
I thought it was 2012, that one.
No, I don't.
They're probably the same, to be honest.
I think Scree can take over for me tonight because I'm off my game.
I'm the same. I don't know the play sets either, like, to be honest. Like, when you say it, to me, I'm like, they all blend in together with the play sets.
Yeah, I've heard Dino say that about he lives so close to where the Mirage Studio, I think, is.
Oof.
Where Kevin Eastman and Peter Lard drew that famous turtle.
That's cool.
That's pretty wicked. So
I don't think I'm going to be able to show this image, but yeah, Dino sent me on Insta a picture of the manhole, which is pretty awesome. Like to be that close to where Dino lives.
Yeah, so 2012, Dean.
Yep. It does
look at the 03 one, then I wouldn't know what it looks like.
Yeah, no.
No, I wouldn't either. I have to look into it.
You need a Sewer Layers episode.
That 2012 one, you need a bloody whole room for. It's huge.
Yeah, I know. It's massive.
So, Scree, just something I wanted to know, and I know we said we weren't going to direct every question to you, but how long you been collecting for? I know you said you had that stuff as a kid.
So I had all that stuff when I was a kid. The stuff all got like handed down to nieces and nephews, and they got passed on. I've literally been collecting for 1 year. 1 year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 1 year.
Damn, you've made a pile behind you.
I went in sort of like full head forward.
You went
I
in.
went in. Yeah.
All the way in.
I've actually got a funny story if you want to hear. Not a funny story, but it's just a story if you want to hear it.
Yeah, shoot away.
Let's go.
So I went down one night. I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what's the go, what's there, what's still around. And I got caught just watching like a lot of American like picking shows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with a mate talking, and I was like, I wonder what's around. So I jumped on good old Facebook Marketplace as we do. Just typed in vintage toys, and this popped up. This guy popped up.
Oh, the Grand Slam and Raf.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me spotlight. Yeah. There we go.
So I was like,
first purchase.
That's my very first purchase, and it's actually from our good friend Uncle T and Tony.
Really?
Bullshit. Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I met him. So I contacted him. I was like, dude, as you do on my Marketplace, is it still available? Will you take $100 for it? You know, like trying to get a bargain. And Tony's like, yeah, man, like come check it out. And he's like, if you're local, come to this local toy fair that we're doing. I went down there, met the guys, and yeah, I got that. And it was like an explosion in my head when I walked in this toy fair. I saw all this stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Was that the Newcastle show that was in like April of last year?
Yeah, that's when it was. Yeah,
right.
Did you go to that one?
I did, yeah. I went to that one, yeah. So I wasn't really collecting, so I didn't know all you guys. I didn't know like the community and all that. And I walked in and I saw Owen's booth because he's always got all the turtles, and it was like my wallet would be empty by the end of the day, and I just was like buying all the Pizza Hut stuff, like all the the little knickknacks that you had when you were kids. And I got like a Rocksteady on a card and things like that, and I got I think you can see it behind me just there. It's like a complete Donny. Loose, and it just
4 a.m. for it.
Yeah, and it just blew up. I just went all in. I just went all in.
So that Newcastle show was crazy. It was so tight in there.
It was like I got there super early, and I was like,
yeah,
it was okay to walk around, but like an hour went by and you could not move. You were like shoulder to shoulder. And it was like,
I mean,
that's where it all started.
I just want to pay some respect to SoCal Shaolin for tuning in at 4 a.m. in San Diego, man.
Wow, 4 a.m.
Dude, that's wild. So, man, thank you so much. But yeah, hope all is going well for you, mate, and you can get back on the hunt soon because always look forward to your toy hunting videos. But Scree, that must have been pretty crazy, man, because like you just start collecting, this little collecting bug's just starting to find its way into you. So, your first purchase is a carded vintage figure, which is which is like an unusual way to start. And then you go to Newcastle, you see Owen's stall, which, is a stall that I've mentioned in videos before. We've spoken about it on the live stream before. A guy that specializes in vintage turtles and also other stuff, Toxic Crusaders, Mighty Max, none of which is cheap. So you pull up and just see all these vintage figures. You're probably seeing complete figures for $100 and more. Like that's a hard place to start. And I got to be honest, man, like I don't really blame you for not going all in on vintage straight away because, like when I've only been collecting for 6 years, you know what I mean? But when I started collecting, I could pick up complete vintage figures for like $20, $25. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, okay, I can do that. I can, when you first start out, like I just want the first 10 and then I want the next wave. So like, that's not like unattainable. That's a tricky thing about starting these vintage lines in the last year or starting collecting in the last year. It's like, it's a tricky market to get into,
Yeah, I think what sort of like kept the spark going was at the same time I started collecting, the Mutant Mayhem just started releasing like the idea of their collection, like the figures coming out. And I thought that's pretty cool being a part of that because I've never been a part of where it's like I've seen a release of a figure coming out like a line. So when they got released here, it was just, I just grabbed the whole set, grabbed the big bundle, and then it started from there. And that's where the kind of like the carded fascination came. So a lot of my stuff is all carded. It's not really loose. So that's where I think I've made the mistake. I've made the mistake going carded.
It's hard.
Well, it's not a mistake, but it's just, it makes it tough.
Expensive one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, there's no right or wrong way to do it, mate. I mean, we all collect, what we want, how we want. But I do want to talk to you about carded versus loose. I just want to say good day to Mr. Rum first. Hello, Salacious. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for joining us. But so you're someone that, regardless of whether you buy something vintage or modern, like when it comes to carded things or boxed items, they ain't getting opened in the Scree household. Is that right?
No, they're not getting open unless I accidentally open it, like by dropping it, which I have done, which to a 2012. No, they're not getting opened. Even I've got triples of things and I still haven't opened them. I've still got them on the card because I see someone online. That's what I love about this community. Like you see someone online going, "Hey, I'm missing a carded figure of this." I'm like, "I've got a spare. I've got a double. I'll send it your way." It's that good. So a lot of my stuff stays carded. Yeah, well, pretty much all my stuff stays carded.
So all the Mutant Mayhems, you didn't open any?
I did open a few just to do some like unboxings when they first came out. Yeah. Just to sort of get the channel sort of,
It's cheaper to go buy another card.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, $10. You buy 2 or 3 of them, open one.
Let's touch on that. So you started collecting a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then what made you think, okay, I'm going to start an Instagram and start popping out all these thousands of videos? I remember when I first saw the page, I was like, I'm getting spammed here. I think there was so much going on, and the first time I met you, I didn't even put 2 to 2 together for about half the day. Then I was like, oh, gotcha. So what made you start your own channel in that sense?
So I've always been big with like doing content. So I'm like a big gamer, so I do a lot of stuff on like with streaming with gaming. I've always loved content, YouTube channels, like watching videos, things like that, and I've always seen that like places like Instagram is always a great place to connect with other collectors, and you kind of get a feel of what's going on, what's around you. So it was just a no-brainer. Make an Instagram and just do random unboxings. Do the weird things like we're going to discuss later, opening up cards that are 30 years old, things like that. So I did have a few nasty comments or messages saying, "What are you doing? Stop opening up those cards." I'm like, I'm having fun.
Exactly, mate. And you make it look fun too. You always have with your videos. Like you've always you've got like a different way of doing it to anyone else, really, which is kind of cool.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely comments like that always keep you going. So because there's been a few times where you open up these cards and go, should I really be opening up vintage cards? Or someone out there's probably like full cringe and like shaking. It's like, I should have done that. I was like, yeah, but
you're always gonna have that. You're always gonna have that medium between people that don't and do. But that, I guess that's your medium there. You keep all your figures sealed, but you're okay opening the cards. So
opening the cards.
Yeah. I still like, now we got some packs of cards and we thought we might open them maybe on here, and I'm still like, do I want to?
I'm exactly the same. Like, I would never like try to coax Scree to open up his figures because I collect loose, but even the stuff that I have carded, like, for the last Collecticon 2 months ago, I bought that like Ring Raiders carded figure, the carded set that's just like beat to shit. It's destroyed. And I bought it. And I bought it for like, Tony gave me, shout out Tony B, he gave me a stupid, like, awesome deal of $10 for that thing. And I still can't open it. Like, I got
that card was beat down too.
Horrible. Half the card's missing and I still can't open it. But I'm kind of like, I'm on the same page as Dino when it comes to the cards. Like, I've got, lots of them. I got doubles and triples of these packs, but and look, if we get around to opening some, I'll do my bit, but there's still part of me that's like, oh, should I? Like,
and that card to last that long, the way it's been treated, when you look at it, it's like, how is it still on?
I know fully. So Scree, one question I have for you, mate. Like, you've been collecting for a year now, which is crazy considering the collection that you've amassed. And something that I know that you collect a lot of different lines and a lot of different things, and there's cards and there's various figures and stuff. And I know that when I first started collecting, look, I'm still broad in my collecting, but when I first started, I was just picking up anything. It didn't matter what the toy line was, and I'm sure Dean and Dan similar for you. Like, and the longer you go collecting, the kind of more you think, okay, I want to try and complete this. These are the things I'm going to chase. Do you have either figure lines or card series, or do you have things that you're trying to complete? Do you have like things that are top of the priority list to try and pick off, or are you still kind of going through and just keeping the net wide as far as what you're collecting?
I've definitely like sort of narrowed it down now as I've sort of like get more experience or get more knowledge of what's around. I've made it a thing where I want to kind of collect carded figure from every series, like of the four brothers. That's kind of a goal for me to try and do. But like you said, at the moment, I'm just literally if it's Turtles or if it's 90s, I'm picking it up. I don't really sort of say, oh no, I don't need that, or I don't have that in my collection. Like I'll have like one of something like Street Sharks or Extreme Monsters or Ring Raiders, things like that. I'll have one or two of those in the collection. But with the Turtles, I've kind of gone, I need a goal. I need like a purpose of why I'm collecting. I think I felt like I needed. So I sort of went, all right, let's try and get the brothers on card in all four like different sets and all that. So that's the goal now. So like I've got this guy here. So this is my baby. So I've already got a baby after a year old. It's a 10 back Donnie.
Oh, nice, unpunched
and uncircled.
and uncircled. Yeah, that's a beauty.
That's a clean card.
This is what my goal is, to get the other three brothers like this. So, but unfortunately, I'm just watching the market keep going up and up. I'm like, stop it, just stop it for a little bit.
Especially those 10 backs. I don't think the market will ever go down on them.
No.
It's fan club flyer.
It's a grail. Because I remember there was the whole set of the 10 backs being sold at the last Collecticon by Second Soul Toys, and that was all of them, and that went for a ridiculous price, and it was just like
they were graded too.
They were graded.
So you are paying for that, but still, if you're looking for a nice representation of a 10 back for the original, tough one.
But even I thought this was going to be a tough one.
It's achievable.
It is achievable,
especially the way you went. Like you haven't got the rarest of the vintage figure, but it's still like it's a good start. That's for sure.
And like you said earlier, the community itself. Like you've been in the community for a year now, so I'm sure you have trusted people that you can reach out and say, "Hey, can you hunt these down for me?" Because
sorry.
It does make it more difficult, especially in Australia. We always have less.
Oh shit, yeah.
So that's like when this one here, I posted on a Facebook page just asking people what their grail was, just to get an idea of what people are searching for and what's sort of not out here in Australia. And then I just randomly said that's mine, and then I got contacted through a DM saying, "Hey, I've got one for sale. Do you want to buy it?" And I'm like, I've seen the scams, I've seen the messages. I'm like, how much? It was a good price, and I was like, do you know what? I'll buy it. And when I sent him the money, it come up with a completely different name, completely different business, everything. And I'm like,
he's in Nigeria.
Oh, no.
I was like, I've just been scammed. So I sent a message going, I've sent the money. Please tell me now this is a scam. You can have the money, just don't get my hopes up. And he's like back and said, don't worry, it's been sent. And then like literally a week later, I got it, and I was like, it was like a kid on Christmas. I was just like, I couldn't believe that I actually got it. Do you know what I mean?
It is a scary feeling when you do that. Send the money to someone and you're like not 100% confident,
Yeah, it was more of like getting your hopes up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I finally found one. It was cheap. It's on a good card. It's unpunched. I'm like, this is too good to be true. But dude, if you just need the money, just say so. Come on, just don't break my heart.
Do you think you'll get that graded? I know it's in a case. It's not graded yet, is it?
No, I don't know. Does anywhere in Australia do grading?
Depends.
I'm not
I think there is a grader in Australia, but I don't think they get held like the quality of the American companies do.
So it's not like a credit one. So it's sort of like just a graded one.
It's not what people chase for. People always chase for those like I forgot the bigger name companies, PSA and all that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you like the grading process? Like never being able to touch it ever again?
I kind of do. Like I kind of like having that one in the case. So I don't have to touch it. I don't get the sort of like, oh, I shouldn't be touching it like that, or my sweaty hands are ruining the card. Grading always looks cool on things too. So to make it look cooler is always a good thing. And you can always take it out of the grading if you really wanted to. You just break it open. Yeah,
that's true.
It's never locked in there for good.
It's not so much a risk either. Like some of those vintage Star Wars you send away, they can start falling apart on card and that from just the postage going to the place to get graded, and then yeah, like I've heard a couple of people get sent back pretty much in pieces.
Yeah.
If there was a good place here in Australia that does grading, I probably would. If it's Australia, not overseas. So
you have to think it's getting up to 50 years for some of those figures, the Star Wars. So that's to even still be stuck on. I couldn't imagine any modern toy glue lasting 50 years.
No.
It doesn't last a week. Half the Star Wars that you buy now from the last 10 years, you can just take it off the card. It's ridiculous.
But the grading, the sealed grading capsule, it doesn't stop the thing from aging inside. In time, there's going to be graded carded figures with high grades that are falling off the card, or the figure
in the box.
Let's say Joe's, O-rings degrade. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, I would have to imagine that there's going to be graded vintage figures with really high grades, and inside the slab, inside the bubble, is just limbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I know like with cases and all that, these cases are like full UV protection,
UV
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
you get that kind of
And they should also be airtight, which again should, so between like filtering out UV light and being sealed, that you'd think that would slow down the aging.
Yeah.
You'd think.
You'd probably get an extra 10 years out of it. Yeah.
But it's also about how you keep it too. Like the climate you keep it in is going to be massive for that. Star Wars did that a lot with figures that had little bands or something that would hold onto a gun. And in 10 years, that little rubber band would just degrade and the gun would fall to the bottom of the pack. So
yeah, unfortunately, none of this stuff is forever, and it wasn't. And when all this stuff was rolling out of factories, it wasn't built to last forever. I mean, these toy makers probably didn't think these things would still be around now. So it's interesting.
But turtles have the higher ground on it because their joints are all just plastic ball joints. So
true.
Yeah, they do have a stronger connection than Motu and things like that.
I feel like when it comes to the aging of vintage Turtles figures, it's more like that stickiness on the exterior than really like joints wearing. Like some figures get a bit loose, like, and gosh, there's nothing inappropriate here, but April's very loose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
April's loose in the goose.
But like she's got a different body style. So like her joints I find get really loose, but the others,
she's horrible. Like, she stands actually quite good, but I've had worse.
Yeah, mine's a floppy. Mine's a floppy. She's
my April's pretty floppy as well.
She's been around the town. Yeah.
She's been well played with.
Yeah.
So one more question from my part for you, Scree. So do you collect the reissues of the vintage figures? Because that, I suppose, like for someone who's a little bit newer to the game, like that's one good thing about the Turtles franchise is if you like the vintage figures, if you got the nostalgia for the vintage line, and you don't want to pay the big bucks for the original figures, like the reissues are a pretty good alternative. Are they something you're picking up?
Yeah, so I think you can see behind me just this guy here. That's the reissue of the Sewer Surfers, whatever they're called, or those ones. Like Big Dub released a whole bunch of all the re-releases, and I picked them up as well because they still look cool on card. They were still cool to collect. As I said, I was going to grab all the Four Brothers, so I just grabbed whatever re-release came out. I think you can see the box sets beside me as well.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so there's like 3 box sets up there as well. I got one from the.
There's a few newer ones of those that I haven't even seen in Australia.
Yeah, so just things like that. Like I'll just pick up whatever at the time. Really, if it's there, I'll grab it. It's one of those things where I'm like, should I get it? Shouldn't I get it? Yeah, I'll grab it. So, yeah.
But that's great.
Sorry, just quickly. Like Adam makes a good point here. We talk about like 80s figures aging. I mean, like when you compare some of the reissues and also some other modern figures that Dan and Dean, you've picked up. Like I've heard you guys speaking about like the quality's not necessarily as good now or in some cases now as it was. So it's not just the 80s and 90s figures that are starting to get worse for wear. Like Adam's talking about like 2012 WWE elites that are loose,
Yeah, well, that's it. Anything 10 years ago from now,
given enough time,
crap quality. It really is, and that is definitely with a stronger sense of it doesn't need to last. So
fully.
In the 80s, they built things and houses and everything. They built it to stand up for a while. Now they just build it to get it out. Get it out. Something else will come along real quick.
But also with like the adult collector market being so big to the toy makers now, that the figures almost need to be designed to a different production standard because they don't need to withstand play. They just need to have posability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they do, and if you look at like the Star Wars Vintage Collection figures they bring out now, they're not marketed at all to children. They're marketed to people making displays, articulation of like 22 points of articulation in these figures. Like that's nuts. So, but yeah, just something that Dino from Geek Strong say now. You've got those NECA turtles, those ones. They're not focused to children. So they put the quality and they put the better plastics into these ones now.
Sure.
Definitely. So Scree, do you collect the NECA stuff? Like, do you pick up either the NECA or Super 7, like modern turtle stuff based on the film or animated series?
I just recently picked up 2 of the NECAs, the Muckman, at an auction. They're probably my first ones. Because I didn't know much about that either. Like, I sort of looked at that line and went, "What's that line?" And I was like, they came up in an auction. I'm like, I'm going to get it just to have one physically in my hand to check it out. And like you said, you can tell they're definitely designed for like the adult collector. Just the way they're packaged and how they're displayed in the box. And
can you show
that one? Is actually the proper look from the cartoon.
What's that?
I think.
Can you show them? Sorry, Dan. Can you make him big?
No. I'm pretty sure it is. It's the actual. Yeah, it's the one from the cartoon. He's an ugly son of a bitch, but
as long as they don't all fall down. The whole display falls down.
So that's like the.
Yeah, so that's the vintage cartoon one. Oh, they got the
glow in the dark.
Yeah, so it's full like glow in the dark, black lit, and all that, black light lit, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
And then you got this one as well.
So I'm assuming he's your favorite character.
No, this is just an auction that I saw, and it was too good to pass up. So
He's a wicked character,
but just like you said, like just the packaging of that, you can tell it's like they designed it to keep also in there. If you want to keep it in there, you don't have to take it out.
Yeah, but that's collector-friendly packaging, so you can open that up without ripping the box.
That's what I thought was pretty cool. When I first saw it, I was like, "Wait, do I have to take it out?" And I was like, "Oh no, I've made a mistake. I have to take it out." But yeah, when I saw the it actually open up in the window, I was like, "Okay, that's pretty cool." Same with the that's all the way down there, but the Eastman Peter Lard one, the 4 brothers in the comic book style, where they got like the one's got a hood, like a brown hood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even they have like a door that opens up and they show out, so you don't have to take them out of the packaging as well.
That's the long box one, isn't it?
The long box, yeah.
You've probably done one, but you need to do a little reel on that glow in the dark. I haven't seen that feature.
Oh really?
That's an exclusive of that other figure, isn't it? The ones you just had up.
Is it the same figure?
It's exactly the same figure. Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, but that's
it's just like
that's a limited run one, the glow in the dark.
Yeah, so I'll leave up for a bit longer. So we show this right here.
Yeah. So you look at the size of that figure. Like if you were collecting,
I love Joe Eyeball in it. So
it'd be such a big amount of space in your collection room just to house all these ones.
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to collect that line, but yeah, it's crazy.
But like I said, they display well in the box. Like you can have just the box like that, or you can have like a bookshelf sort of display.
Like retail, what are we talking retail? $60?
Yeah, that's what I picked them up for. Yeah,
60 Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they're still sick, but
yeah, they're wicked.
But that was like my first sort of like experience with NECA. Like I heard of it, but I sort of like what is that? Like I was still new to that kind of knowing the brands of what to collect. So yeah, when I saw that, it's got some really cool stuff. Yeah, I was more and more I look at it, I'm like, my wallet's hurting. I better not keep going. Yeah.
Well, that was a good figure spotlight. Did you have any more for Scree? Any more history? Or do we want to do figure spotlight?
Why don't we get into some figure spotlights? That's while we're talking about it, or while we're doing it.
So tonight we have Dan,
Yeah.
and I think Scree's going to jump in. Is it? Yeah,
I'll try and do one. I'll try.
Let's
I'll
go
let
first.
Scree go first.
I'll go first. Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
Yeah.
Make him big.
Big boy.
All right. So for my spotlight, I chose, which I was calling this figure wrong. Dan corrected me and told me that this figure is not
Dude,
Undercover
everyone
Donnie.
calls it that, so don't think I was having a diss. We all call it
So
that.
it's not Undercover Donnie, it's Don the Undercover Turtle. So that's him right there.
Such a cool figure.
It's from the
It's a cool
Disguise
figure,
line,
yeah.
but isn't it?
Yeah,
from
so
the
Turtles
Turtle
in Disguise line. So we've
Yeah.
Sewer Surfer Mikey, the Samurai Leo,
Yeah.
and I forgot the other one. I forgot
Space
who Raph
Cadet
was.
Raph.
Space
Yeah.
Cadet
Raph,
Raph,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. So the more research I did on this, I actually found out it was named Don the Undercover Agent. So it wasn't actual turtle at the end, it was agent.
There
So
we
I
go.
guess they wanted to keep it on the card as turtle, I guess. So
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, learning that little piece of information. But as you can see, he's got like the disguise. It pops straight off. It does supposed to have a strap. I did put a little thing about the strap. If that is missing, does that make it 100% complete, or does it make it like 99.5? You guys
Always.
voted on 99.5.
Yeah, I have to say that would annoy me a bit.
I'm a stickler for for completion, so it's not quite complete to me, but look, still displays great. Like that's a cool thing. Like the mask still holds on well. You don't really necessarily need that.
That was the big part of it. When I was going through my childhood turtles, I had that piece and I didn't know what it was from for
The
ages.
strap.
Yeah, because I didn't need it as a kid. The mask just sat on the face so nicely.
Yeah, just pops straight on. You don't even need it.
It's a useless like band anyway. Like it hardly fits.
Yeah.
But my OCD will kick in and I just need it.
Well, so I didn't know there actually was a strap till I looked up the carded figure, and it had that actually strapped in the display. So I was like, that's actually, like you guys said, makes it the 100% complete.
Yeah.
But the cool little things, like when you do spotlight, you pick up so many cool things on the actual figure. I didn't realize that this side here, he's got like a little microphone. So like for his detective, recordings.
I never noticed that.
That's a little microphone there. And then you also got a little dagger on the side. So that was actually a little feature. I was like, that's pretty cool. Little details. The one thing I love about this figure too is the imagination you can have with it. So like as you can see, he's got like a ripped bit on his shirt there on the other side. That's his camera. You can either say, he's hiding in the bushes, he rips his coat, or as we all know, 90s turtles are jacked, so it's a bit too tight.
He's flexed.
He flexed too tight, but I didn't understand why they left his bands purple on the actual outside when he's trying to be in disguise. That was a little like, wait, what?
It's all about selling the toy, mate.
Like,
it's all about selling the toy.
The way I look at that figure, and Jonathan saying he loves the disguise turtles, to me, like they're one of the coolest, like gimmicky variant waves. And of the four, I think the undercover, Donnie the undercover turtle is probably the coolest. But the way I look at it, because the mask is like that stylized Groucho Marx mask, and because the pistol has like the bang flag out of it, I almost look at it like it's like Donnie just in a fun little costume, as opposed to being any sort of real undercover. Like I don't look at it like how we used to see in the animated series the turtles throw on their overcoats and go out in New York City. Like to me, it's very much like Donnie just having fun being in costume, because otherwise, why is he going to have like the pistol with the bang flag and stuff? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I mean by like this figure has so much like imagination aspects to it. Like you can play with it as many ways as you want. And one of the things I noticed too is it's how he's standing, how the mold is actually standing. So it's not like a normal Donnie where you can actually see him straight. He's kind of in like a run, sort of like a getaway as his coat sort of flapping away.
He's in it, yeah. Like a lot of the vintage figures were sculpted in dynamic poses like that, rather than just standing straight on. But that Donnie's definitely, it's almost like half step, yeah.
He gives me such a Dick Tracy look with the
he does
bang gun.
What I love about his gun too, the bang sticker. If you look at the other side of that gun, it's actually engraved into the gun. So they're
Yeah,
gonna
just
like
do,
they're
yeah.
gonna paint it and they just whack the sticker on.
That's that's another thing I hadn't noticed.
Mm.
And then
So,
you've got
yeah,
the case which has some awesome decals inside it.
So you see on the outside of the case too, it's like shells as well.
Oh, really?
No, I never
Yeah,
noticed
it's
that
actually
either.
shells.
That's cool.
And then on one corner, I think it's this corner here. It actually says, you can't really see it, but it says top secret
Oh, man. I don't
Yeah.
look at
Oh,
that stuff.
yeah.
on the corner.
Oh, there's so much detail, dude.
Apparently, it's
Crazy.
bulletproof. It says in the description,
That's
it's
right.
a bulletproof case.
Like, that's why we came up with this spotlight. It wasn't just a segment for the people watching. It was also for us, man. Like,
Yeah.
and it's good to research too. It's quite fun.
And you got the cool sticker inside with like the phone, his extra bandana. He's like Ninja Stars, and then I'll get to it in a minute, but you've got like looks like a cassette tape, top secret handbook, spyglass, and this is what I want to talk about. Like the one thing I thought was missing was Donnie having a bow staff in the actual weapons. I was like, where's his bow? Like, where's his stick?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, you can imagine if that's just like an extendable one, just sitting in his suitcase, ready for action. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can kind of, or it's just chopsticks, one of the two. So,
Nah,
so
his bow for sure.
that's what I was going to say. Your bow, and
That's cool.
I was like, oh, I did have it here somewhere, but now I've lost it. The high energy snack, the slice of pizza.
Yeah.
The extremely burnt pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it would have been cool. It would have been cool to see like a staff, like a black staff maybe with it. That would have been actually kind of cool.
That would have been cool, man. That's a cool,
and his revolver.
cool spotlight.
Yeah,
Well,
I actually
on
really like this figure.
On that note, so Dino, you've done some custom ones. I don't know if you're going to show them or not, but
Yeah, no.
did you want to?
Yeah, make me big. I'll show the other three since we've
Because
seen
just on Scree's point, as Dino's going to show you, like he's got some custom ones, and I always thought they would look sick with like their original weapons blacked out. You know what I mean? Like wrapped with size and so on. Like I just think they would finish them really nicely.
Yeah.
So what I did is I just picked up the figure loose. So I just got beaters, and then I started painting them, just all their elbows.
They look
and
sick.
They look cool, yeah.
Yeah,
done a good job.
So I thought they were legit when I was talking about this figure. I thought they were the actual. That's how they were released, like that. So yeah,
You went looking for the other three brothers.
It's just such a simple custom, but it's super effective.
It works. Yeah, it definitely works.
So when you got
imagine blacked out weapons in their hands, how sick that would look.
Well, the thing is, I didn't go for the weapons at all with them. One, because it was easier just to find the figure, but I was aiming for that first episode of the cartoon series where they dressed up and they go to the supermarket in their undercover gear. So so I'm just picturing that their weapons are all inside their coats and that. But yeah, there was my taste of doing a custom, and it really opened up a whole lot of waves. Like I want to do Space Cadet Raph. I want to make all four of them. The turtles, because I don't know why they would just bring out Don in that. Like, if you like them, you like them. I like them.
What I researched is they later on in the cartoon, Donnie actually does disguise himself like this to spy on the Foot Clan. So I think maybe that was one of the reasons they just released him in it, which was really cool. But yeah,
Cool figure.
But this figure, I have to give a shout out to Dan and Monique for this one. This was a gift from them. And that's what sparked the whole I need to get it complete. And now I'm almost there. That little band. That's all I need is that one band.
How many pizza slices do you give it?
Oh yes.
Do you know what? I was thinking about that today, and I was like, I'm gonna give it 9.5. 9.5
out of 8. So you're going to
out of 8.
Oh, 8. Oh, 8. I was going 10 for some reason. So 7.5.
Pizza, man.
7.5.
Well, Scoob, we've got to give you credit, mate, because you coined the pizza slice, review metric. So there we go. It's full circle. You're on the show and you're rating a figure.
And I buggered it up too. I went 10 slices instead of 8.
It's all good. It's all good.
We just want to say hi to Johnny.
Yeah, I want to catch up on a few comments before we get to Dan's spotlight. So, yeah, Sean's just making the point that there's just so much choice. And it really is like, I mean, this could be a whole nother topic in itself because I collect exclusively vintage. But, I look at some of the modern lines, NECA movie line, NECA animated series, Super 7 Ultimates. Like, and then, they're obviously the collector lines. Then you got Mutant Mayhem and re-releases, and then you got like the Mondo stuff, and there's just so much. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yes, and Adam makes a good point here. In that first four, like in the 4 disguised turtles wave, yeah, Sewer Mike is definitely like Surfer Mike is definitely his disguise is just such a great fit with his character. So I definitely agree there. And of course, we've got to say good day to Johnny. Hope you're well, buddy. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And of course, we've got Treasures for Trigger. G'day, Phil.
Hey, mate. How are you, buddy?
Hope you're doing well. I'm way behind in the comments here. Nate's showing some love for the customs.
Thank you.
Jules appreciating the customs, as is Jonathan.
That's
and we've got
Nate is the custom
in
guy.
the house.
Hey, Sis.
Going nice.
No stress at all, Johnny. All good, mate. No worries at all. No, plenty still to go. Alrighty, let's make Dan big, and we'll get into the other spotlight.
Okay. All right. So my spotlight. Well, my last spotlight was half court, I think it was. So this one here I'm doing because it's got something that's very similar to half court, and I'll see if you guys can figure it out before I actually say it anyway. But so yeah, my one this week is sewer spitting turtle. It's sewer cycling Raph. So he's part of the sewer spitting line. This line, like, I'm not a big one to chase these sorts of different turtles yet until I finish the other shit. But this was one I had to have because it's just the colors on this guy just pops, and the fact that he's got a free-wheel unicycle, they call it. But yeah, so it's like a unicycle, which doesn't hold on real well.
Do you display
Does he
him
stand
like
up
that?
on that?
Yeah,
he does, but I stand him up at the back of my shelf, so you can get him to stand, but it's pretty hard. Pretty much, you got to wedge the seat right underneath his ass and then kind of get it stuck in there a little bit.
Yeah,
so, yeah. So he's definitely a cool figure. One of the things you normally don't see on this figure too. That's actually a sticker on that water bottle there. So that's one thing that's normally missing when you're looking for it, and obviously the water bottle accessory that he's got, which is But as if no one knows in chat, these ones you fill up the little water bottle on the back, and there'll be a little hole in his mouth here where he'll spit it out. I've never tried the feature. I don't really want to put water in my figures, but I guess it was probably fun for some kids back in the day. But yeah, she's definitely a bright figure. It comes with this water bottle. Also comes with another weapon, which is the soda. I think the sewer soda gun. Oh no, sorry, water bottle blaster. That's the one. My bad. But he also comes with a pump gun. And there we go.
What's the name of the figure?
So it's sewer cycling Raph.
Sewer cycling. Okay,
sewer spitting line.
Yeah. Nice.
So he's got this little pump gun, and that is why it's got a lot to do with half court, because he's got the exact same weapon.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. So half court has.
I wouldn't have picked that.
He's got a silver one.
Oh, nice.
It's the exact same one.
There you go.
And it's actually, to be honest, the one on half court is called a pump pistol, which that doesn't really look like too much of a pistol with the drum on it, but yeah, they named it like that. But yeah, so this figure was also released in 1992, and then they also released it in 1996. There you go, mate. So and on the back of the card, as you know, Playmates always did the bit of a funny little bio, and his favorite race was the Tour de Sewer, so it's like the Tour de France, and his greatest asset was his spit second timing, so they added the spit into it. Yeah, it's kind of cool how they did that. But I've actually got some pictures to show you here, if I can just share my screen. Try to do it properly this time. Where are we at? All right, is that working, Scotty?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you look on the back of that card, you could actually see where the weapons were actually painted, and
Can you
the
just
actual
zoom in on
suicide
that pick a touch? Sorry, Dan.
just zoom in a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, the tricycles actually got a whole lot of color.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so you actually got like there was a total. Well, these are this is back when they were using prototypes for weapons and stuff on the back of cards. So yeah, the detail that tricycle had was just amazing. It was spewing we missed out on that, to be honest. But yeah, that was just right on the cusp too, because on my half court card, which was released the same year, the weapons were blacked out, so they were kind of black and white, so you couldn't see the paint apps they did to them and that. But yeah, definitely would have been cooler if we got
that. Looks like actual pizza topping as the wheel.
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure that's what it's meant to be.
And
That's
the seat looks like that Peter burnt pizza from the undercover.
Yeah, it looks like they got it as a seat. Yeah, true.
That's where they got it from.
Like I was saying, in 1996, they released a different carded version, and it was this Ninja Power card with this figure on it.
Okay,
I don't exactly know what origin this was from, but doing even more research, I'm going to show you a different card from the Sewer Spin line and try to see what the difference is. I know, obviously, different figure, but what's different about the card?
Ninja Power.
Yeah, so if you look at it, it's a silver back where the Ninja Power is. Now, this other card is a very rare example card because that yellow behind the Ninja Power glows.
Oh, wow.
Very, very, very rare card back there. Like, I've only found one picture online. So, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Definitely cool. But,
that's super cool.
Yeah, but, yeah, it's definitely a cool figure. And, yeah, so I'll give him. So there's his little tricycle, so you guys can see. But, yeah, it would have been so much better if we had that. But you do actually have a pizza topping on the wheel. You can.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Is the accessory is that 3-wheeled unicycle? Is it all one piece, or is it clipped together from a few accessories?
I would say it was just one piece when on card.
Because there's a lot to it.
Oh, there's heaps to it. It was like they didn't really cut. The only thing I can see they cut corners was obviously that gun, but I'm not too sure if I'd say Half Court was released afterwards. So really, they didn't cut corners with this figure at all.
Yeah,
you're getting a full painted out wild figure. You're getting stickers on the figure. You're getting all these different little accessories, and he has a play feature. So they definitely didn't cut corners there, but would have been nice to get that tricycle painted, but
for sure
you can't have everything.
And there are quite a few figures that were like there are other instances of figures where you look at the card back and the accessories have multiple paint apps, but they when the figure was produced they didn't. But that's one of the more extreme examples I've seen. Like not just
that one's black
and white. The half court one,
yeah. So I'd say they did that because people were complaining. Because if I got that card back in the day, I would have been like, why isn't this painted? And I've always complained about it anyway. I want the minifigures painted. I think I've got this little dude down here where I kind of painted Flyboy.
Oh yeah,
it's sick.
Wicked.
So you can go with it. So
we're all doing customs now.
Oh,
what do you give Spitter?
To be honest, I'm up with Scree for 7.5 just because of all the things I was just talking about, like the play feature, the brightness of that figure. As a child, you'd have been like, "Wow, that's crazy." I don't think the unicycle would have been played with too much with the figure, but it's still an amazing thing to be added to it.
I keep a record of all our spotlights that we do. So, Scree, that was the highest figure that we've ever had at a 7.5. So.
It deserved it though. So it's such a good figure.
Well, now there's two of them. So I think we'll do a little breakdown, or maybe on our 1-year anniversary episode.
Oh yeah, want to hear one of his lines too on his card back was his pump gun is lubed and loaded and ready to fire. So love the 90s.
God,
That's the thing that
Alrighty.
shit me the other day. I was showing you boys with the Mutant Mayhem card back. They write like 2 things, but they put it in 3 different, probably 5 different languages. So
Jonathan's saying that there's 2 different paint variants for Suicide of Dawn.
yeah, could be.
I didn't know that.
Probably is.
I love spotlights. I learned so much. Even
You
when
really
I
do, though, don't you? You really do.
Deep
Yeah.
hole.
And every time
down.
we do a spotlight, I go and I have a look at the figure after we say goodnight.
Yeah.
Like,
Check if
All
your
right.
sticker's still there, Dean. See if the sticker's still
yeah,
there.
I could see it in the cabinet. Do we want to get into some nostalgic memories of cards? And
We should. We've been going for well over an hour already, so let's pivot over to some card talk. I'm lubed and loaded and ready to talk cards. So first of all, I just want
I
to
made
welcome in Ollie. Hey Ollie.
You going, Ollie?
No,
Hey, Ollie.
no need to apologise, mate. We appreciate you joining us. Hope you're doing well. So let's get into some card talk. So obviously, like I mentioned at the start when I kind of set this up, TMNT was a franchise that really just touched every aspect of popular culture, from toys to cartoons to movies to fast food tie-ins to everything in between. And obviously, in the 80s and 90s, like, you weren't a hit franchise unless you had a card series. In fact, like flavors of the month that were around for just for what seemed like 15 minutes, they got their series of trading cards. So, trading cards are a big part of my memories of, loving the Ninja Turtles back in the day. I'm definitely keen to get your guys' memories of what sets you remember collecting as a kid and what memories you have of buying and ripping open packs. I'll lead it in just with 2, because I won't go through them, but I've got, like, this is my childhood collection of cards. They're beat to shit. They're in horrible condition. They all, they have rubber band marks all over them. They've got, 8-year-old Scott Crusher sweat all over them. Because, these things were out on the playground getting traded. I mean, I wasn't keeping these things in top loaders. I was keeping them in my pocket with a rubber band around them, trading them on the schoolyard. So there was 2 sets that I collected. In 1989, I collected the animated series cards. So, that these had a variety of different packs. But the most special one to me was the 1990 movie cards, which are in these packs. Now, why I remember loving this so. Oh yeah, good call. So, if the packs don't ring a bell to you, like, the cards I'm talking about, obviously the animated series cards are these ones.
Yeah, they're the bomb, man.
But I'm even more nostalgic for the movie cards. So, these ones here. And I think what was so cool about the movie cards to me was, like, when it came to the animated series, I got to watch that every day at 4 p.m. after school, and I raced home to watch the animated series. But the movie was special because, like, how often could you watch it? Like, I didn't see it at the cinema. It was like constantly sold out of the video store, because that was a time when popular movies, like, you would go there and you would be unsuccessful trying to get a copy of it. So, collecting and trading the movie trading cards were really like the way that I was able to engage with the movie regularly, reading the backs of the cards. And so if you ask me what my favorite set to collect as a kid was, what was most nostalgic, it was the movie cards, because I was so obsessed with the movie, and I would have seen it once and it would have been months before I was able to see it again. So in the meantime, my way of appreciating that was through the trading cards. So who wants to go next? Like, because obviously there was more than just those 2. Like, there was a second wave of cartoon cards. There was Secret of the Ooze cards, which I don't really remember collecting as a kid.
They're the second wave, aren't they, of the cartoon cards?
Yeah, it's the blue pack. Yeah.
That's
the second wave.
But with the cartoon cards, I've got I've got about 6 different different types of packs.
Well, I'll open these ones. So make me up big. But you nailed it there, Scott. Everything you said about the schoolyard and having those cards, trading every cartoon series there was, plus basketball at the time. There was so much going on with card trading. But my nostalgia comes from the corner shops. So going down to the corner shops, the milk bars and things like that. There was a place. It was up the coast in Umina where my auntie was from, and we used to walk down, and you just buy a couple of packs of cards, and they'd cost you like 10, 20 cents. Open them up, but you got the greatest thing ever. You got the piece of chewing gum. So we'll open this one up because I've got a few packs of this, and we might get bad comments, but anyway, we're doing it. So,
I can smell the vintage.
I'll try to stay on. Oh yeah, it's a little musty.
The 80s, man.
Oh, here we go. So this is our chewing gum.
Down the hatch.
So,
Come on.
It's got a lot of white.
It's got a lot of stuff on it.
they always had white. It was covered
Like
in.
if we get like a handful of like eat the chewing gum comments in the chat, will you eat it? Like, can we peer pressure you collectively through the chat?
No, I don't think I'm gonna go to work this week.
Just give it a lick.
Who remembers this? Like, it still smells. Definitely not
What
as fresh.
flavor was it? Like a
There's some
strawberry?
nice like oil.
It was
stain.
strawberry, yeah.
There's some
That
oil
was my biggest memory of the cartoon packs was when you crack that pack open and you could smell the gum.
It's not
just
just
like-
like card.
So you can see the damage the oils and that did to this back card. So these are the black cards. So this is actually a set I never had.
No, I
So
definitely didn't have that.
Yeah. So I won't.
There's a
show
lot
them.
of support for you eating the gum.
Of course there is, and I bet you Carl's there too. Go away, Carl. I got Collecticon this weekend. All right, and it does come. So every pack you get one. Is it a sticker? Yeah, it's a sticker.
Yeah.
So every pack you get one sticker. So how cool is that?
But how carefree was the 90s though? Like the gum wasn't even sealed in anything. It's just opening the packet, putting on the cards. There was
We
no
used
like
to-
aluminium foil on it, no plastic. Just
Used to get that
free gum.
smell.
Mm.
So yeah, like that's my memory. Sometimes it was about the gum, not so much the cards. It was just about getting how many pieces could I get in my mouth.
Did you get any interesting cards in that pack?
It's all about the gum, mate.
Were you
Pretty much all
gum
about the
aside?
gum.
Still the same.
I think I don't even know what season is. Like, do you remember what season?
That's season 2, I think. Screen was
Yeah,
saying.
but like what the cartoon series?
Could
I have so many memories of like the first.
be season 2.
In
Could be
season?
season 2. Yeah,
Doesn't
I'd
ring a
be.
bell to me.
But then
Season 2 was a massive season.
yeah,
There's a lot of episodes.
and then there was like the yellow cards. So these are the first wave of them, and I know they're the same ones you showed, Scott, from your little container. I don't want to open
Yeah, so
them.
just- So
I've only got
I've
one
got-
pack of them.
So you're right,
59
though.
cents.
Yeah, the
Oh,
blue the blue one with Donnie on the front says second series, so you're 100% right. But even with
Yeah.
my other ones, I've got Mikey, Donnie, Leo, and Raph packs. Like so I'm assuming they're just a mix of.
They
of
must have
first
just done the
series.
4 turtles. They must have just done the 4 turtles in different colored packs.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
what's up?
Smells good.
Why are they different colors?
I'm pretty sure it is like you said, the 4 brothers from the first season of the packs. That's what they are. And
Yeah.
then the second
makes-
season is all in the blue. So that's all. That's just the second season.
It
Because
makes sense.
yeah, I think this one goes up to 88 cards, and the first one was only 66 cards. So it's like there's a lot more in
No,
this
the-
second season.
The first one was 88. The
It's
first
88 too,
series.
is it?
Yeah, because this is the first series, and see how. Hang on, let me just say goodnight to Sean. Later, Sean. Thanks for hanging
Are
out with
these-
us, mate.
Are these packets? Are these full sets? I haven't actually looked into these ones yet.
No, so I'll explain. So the first series had 88 cards, right?
88 cards.
This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But what they did was they put this pack together of 66 cards because they took away any cards that
that's what
had a
you're saying,
nunchuck on it, because these were released in the UK as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, where they weren't allowed to use the nunchuck. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. But this is let me just make sure I'm not fibbing.
Oof. Smell the
So
vintage.
yeah, these are the same cards, just much crisper coming out of that deluxe pack than
That's the most nostalgic card for me. Like that thing, they were everywhere. And I
The
still
number
have-
one card, because it was called 88 cards, they took it out of that pack, obviously, even though it didn't have nunchucks in it.
that confused me for years. I had no idea why I had cards that weren't. I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah, so they reused that first card, but they printed on it.
A different.
They printed on it 66 cards, 11 stickers, but the
that's
11
funny.
stickers aren't included in this.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, wow.
I
Which
just
is a
love
bit weird.
Monique's comment, because Stabby Stabby was better than Wacky Wacky.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, wild. So it's Dina makes a good point about the milk bar. Like for me, I always got my cards from the video store. Like our local video store had a mad selection of trading cards. So that was my go-to.
Yeah, mine was the video store, and we had a van, Mr. Whippy, go around, and he used to always have the turtles and basketball cards.
Really?
Delivered turtles to your house?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You hear his siren, and you run out there, and you grab your basketball, and you grab your turtle cards. Yeah,
that's so good.
and you
That
also
guy
do like
realized the lucrative market right there. That guy's a genius.
Well, he actually,
Brilliant.
the Whippy guy, he was actually he ran a card shop as well, a card and comic book shop, and he used to have swap meets once a month. So you used to go there, rip open your packs, and you'd do trades with him in the van, going, "Oh, I need that one, trade it." It was really cool.
Damn.
Did you guys
That's
ever
wild.
like if you're buying like the last pack of cards, you know how they come in the little box with a little flip up so you can see it? Did you ever ask for the box if you had like the last pack, or you're buying the last pack?
Always. You always want the displays. You always grab them.
I remember I got lucky because I had a couple of TMNT cards, but only lucky if I had 10 packs when I was a kid. But I remember we went to you remember how you had Golo and the reject shop and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well, we went into one time. It was actually called Ronnie's. That was it. It was before a lot of people's time, I guess. But they had garbage pail cards in the box still. So they were selling them as for like $20 for like a complete box. So I went home and unpacked the whole set of garbage pail kids and stuck them all over a wardrobe. You know, the stickers that they used to put on, it was just
You got that.
That was awesome unpacking one of them for the first time, because you just had so many. But I wish I had that as for turtles. But
I had that too, Dan.
Bars.
I had that too, but it was 90210.
Oh,
We're not at all.
Cheap.
It was just a slab of like a sealed slab of them, and I was like, "Hey, these things are cheap," and I still have them somewhere, and they're horrendous, but they were fun to open.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Did any of you guys? Did any of you guys get these ones as a kid? The Secret of the Ooze cards.
Yeah, no.
I might have.
I don't remember. I don't remember having these ones as a kid. Only the first film.
Do you have them open, Scotty? I got a pack open.
I don't. I've only got one pack. If I had a spare, I'd open it up.
Pop me big, and I'll show off because I got to open one.
I was gonna say same. Got a bunch as well.
You can go next, Greg. But yeah, I didn't have these ones either. I don't even know where I got this pack from. But pretty wicked back, like that green. It's not really showing up as nice on there, but that's a really nice lime green. And again, a sticker.
But it's weird how, on the back, it's almost like you make up a.
Yeah, when you put them into the. You
make a movie poster, don't you?
One of them.
Oh yeah.
The backs make up the picture.
That's pretty cool.
A lot of cards did that back then.
Yeah, a lot of sets did that. Yeah.
I wonder what cards are like now. These are pretty thick. Like these are dead straight.
They
really,
were thick cards.
really thick. I wonder if cards have gone downhill, just like plastics of toys as well.
Oh, cards have definitely not gone downhill, man. I mean, they make these ones like they crush
hologram cards and stuff.
Yeah, like that. In fact, that's one thing I was kind of keen to have a chat with you guys about. Like, it's kind of interesting because there wasn't really much to these 80s and 90s turtle cards. Like,
No.
they didn't have any parallels or inserts or holograms or anything like that. But if you just go like a few years later to the mid 90s, that's when they started to do that. Like, or even earlier than that, because the Toxic Crusaders cards had some like holographic inserts and stuff. The Skeleton Warriors cards also had some crazy, some crazy like foil cards and stuff. That would have been one cool thing about having that's probably one thing where the Turtles cards could have been improved upon if they had some inserts or some parallels, some chase cards. But again, like this era wasn't about, chasing, rare case hits. It was just about trading and completing sets, and that was the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. They had some of those pop-up cards as well. You started getting those where you squish them together and pop up the middle.
I don't remember those ones, but that sounds awesome.
Not turtles. They were just other sort of lines.
I remember basketball cards. You could get like the basketball imprint on the card, so you could feel like a basketball. That was pretty.
Oh,
cool.
I remember those. Yeah, they were pretty sick. That's one thing. Sorry.
No, go.
I was gonna say that's one thing. When I saw the Secret of the Use cards, I was hoping, like you said, Scott, like it had something in it like that, like a chase card or something. But unfortunately they didn't, which was it was a bummer. But like you said, back when these guys came out, they were more just for getting the set, getting the it complete. Same with like Dean said with the stickers. Tops, that's what they're known for, to put like with their stickers, like the poster on the back. But on the actual,
so it's the sticker cards that have that.
Only the sticker cards, yeah. But
makes sense.
The first movie, they didn't do it. They just released it with the logo.
Gotcha.
So it didn't actually have like, these are stickers, but they don't have like the poster on the back. So it was kind of crazy they didn't do that. So I was like,
have you ever pulled a sticker off one of those sticker cards and seen how does it go like flim? Does the card go flimsy the back, or
do you want to find out?
If you got doubles, don't
I've got. Oh, didn't you give me?
Let me case.
Yeah, got more than doubles.
I think Casey Jones was like a popular one. So we'll do a Casey Jones. Where's the it's like a.
Is it still sticky?
It's pretty.
Get ready, chat.
Dog, you beat me to it, mate. I was gonna call out your gimmick, but you beat me to it. Ripping packs and making stacks.
Nice.
See, it's 30-year-old adhesive. It's not coming off.
That glue.
I'll sit here and try and get it, but it's not coming off.
Why are you doing that, Scott? Make me big for 2 secs, and I'll show the chat some. This is what you chase in those cards. You chase mistakes. So that's a poorly cut card.
Super out of center, yeah.
Oh, the quality control in these cards it doesn't exist. It does not exist.
The one thing I love, it's called 88 cards, and they still couldn't get this one right. The 88. But, yeah.
So that's the Australian. That's the Australian one because it's 88 cards.
So yeah. So that's the shit I love chasing. When I'm going through a deck of the cards, I look for the mistakes. I love that shit.
That's awesome.
VTR Dave, hey buddy. Thanks for joining us.
I'll show you this. This isn't turtles. How cool would this be if we had turtle cards? So these are Stargate Atlantis cards. All right. So what they have is they actually have a piece of the costume from that character in the card.
Cool.
That's actually pretty sick.
Shit.
Yeah.
So how old would that be, Dean?
So this was 05.
Wow.
So you got.
I know they do that in basketball now. They cut jerseys up, and even in football cards, they cut the pigskins up. So
game one patches.
Could you imagine getting like a card with a piece of like Donatello's suit from one of the movies in there, and knowing that that's like an official like piece, like
That would have been cool.
That would have been actually kind of cool.
Sure.
yeah.
So were they like that card there? Was that
They were like
a chase?
yeah,
Go
so they
through?
were like one in every 2 boxes, I think. So you
Holy
only-
shit!
because they
Pretty
were the
rare.
hardest. The autograph cards were you got one in every box of an autograph card. So I'll just grab one of those. So yeah, like you'd have just like an autograph of whoever the actor was. So like you've got Jason Momoa was in Stargate Atlantis. So now that he's gotten so big, his cards with his pieces of costume, they're quite some money.
Damn.
But I just thought, yeah, imagine if that was Turtles, you know?
That would
That would have been cool.
Piece of April yellow jacket or something. That'd be awesome.
That'd be
Even
wicked.
like a shell indentation on a card, so you could feel like
Mm.
the back of a turtle shell.
But Scree, you've got some errors too, don't you?
Yeah, on the first movie cards, there's actually quite a few like errors on them. That they've done a lot of not really quality control at all. The camera doesn't really pick up justice, but they kind of the scenes are kind of labeled. You can't really see it, can you?
Can you go closer?
Yeah, it's kind
No,
of it blends in. But
Yeah,
this scene, it's saying that it's like when the turtles first go to April's apartment. But as you can see, it's when they're actually in the old sort of farmhouse where they take Raph. That's one there. One of the biggest ones is the Donatello, which I got graded.
Yeah.
So this actually says Donatello on the card, but as you can see, it's Leonardo. They've just gradient the band a bit lighter to make it look purple.
It does
They're-
look
they're-
purple? It looks pretty blue in the picture.
Yeah, it looks pretty blue.
In person, it looks more purple.
Okay.
And that's on every card. They never rectified that?
They never changed it. They kept it the same.
I love
Same with the,
I love all the
awesome.
playmates, but I love that.
This is a good one. This is like the Raphael, but
boy.
it's clearly Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Man, ain't that rap.
Again, the camera's not doing it justice. It's definitely orange.
Yeah, you can tell that.
I
Yeah.
love it. It's
So
a
there's
pizza
a lot of mistakes in this set they did, and they name it. And I think one we looked at as we were discussing was this one here. So apparently this is like a deleted scene. So this is actually not in the movie. So it's like it says a new fighting method. It's where Leonardo puts a blindfold on himself and he gets his brothers to attack him so he can learn how to fight with no vision. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't remember that scene. I remember them training like that, similar, but not that.
Yeah, but I don't remember the book where it says here he puts his covers his eyes and tells his brothers to attack to
I wonder
train
if
a
that's
different style.
on one of the Blu-ray like bonus features or something these days.
Yeah, it could be,
Deleted
yeah.
scene, yeah.
They're worried about kids tying stuff around their eyes and then hitting with weapons. So
Well, they
check it out.
definitely weren't in 1990.
Well, that just means that they approved and cut the cards before they did the final edit of the movie before it went out.
Yeah.
Probably. That's
But no,
cool.
it's like you're saying, Dan. Like the quality control, it didn't exist back in the 90s like it does now. So like,
It still exists now.
Well, a little bit more, like you know what I mean. So that the pictures, I guess,
Card quality is definitely a lot better.
Yeah, I guess the printers are more advanced than back in the 90s. So that was their biggest thing. Trying to get those pictures to translate onto a card, I guess, was a challenge as well. You know, they didn't have high graded ink like we do today. So
No.
that was one of the things. And also too, like I opened up a pack of 90s Power Ranger cards and they did high gloss. And all the gloss just sticks together now. So the cards are like literally destroyed once you open the packs. So I stopped doing that. I still got a whole set of Power Rangers sealed because I'm like, I am just destroying these cards trying to open them.
Well, do they actually
really-
peel off, or they just don't? Like,
Yeah,
when
so
you peel it, you can actually see
So
the
it'll
laminate.
literally peel the card off together. So like you're left with like white patches all over the card.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they weren't aiming for the future, I suppose.
Well, like I said, they weren't designed to stay in the packet for 30 years either. So get them out, rip them open.
We know that by the gum.
What are you eating that gum, then?
Yeah. Have you? Yeah. Like, have you mentally prepared yourself to eat the gum? Not happening.
There was that much white coming off and just like flaking that it was just no.
The white's a good part, mate. If there wasn't white, I reckon it'd be.
I think someone said have a bite and make sure that the dunny's close by.
Yeah,
Adam said that.
Put in a cup of water for a couple of days, see what happens. See if it changes form where it comes out like a brick still.
Rehydrate it.
It's an interesting point from
cards are wicked. And I had on my last video, like Scree sent me all these movie cards. Like there's so many here. So I've actually made a set, but I can't remember off the top of my head. One of you boys will definitely know, and I'll show it on this pack here. No, it won't. You've got like a purple backing, and then there's like a pink backing. Do I have one? Do you know what the difference is, Scree?
Yeah. So what I've looked at, there's actually 3 types. Like actually, like the pink back, the brown back, and there's like a pink and brown back, and that's all different. It's different regions. They're different printing companies. So I guess like the brown back you've got there, that's the Topps USA.
Because there's those ones. That's
so they should be the pink white back.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that's like the European set.
Gotcha. So for some, it is.
Yeah.
So you can see that.
The other set, they're apparently supposed to be. I haven't seen it, or I haven't really looked into it. It's pink with a brown back, and that was a set that came with gum. So they released a movie set with gum as well, but we never got here.
So the pink is primarily what I had as a kid.
Yeah, so we got them, but we didn't get them with the stickers. They don't come with the stickers.
Yeah, and you sent me a whole lot of the.
Yeah, so they're the ones I got. So they're the top. Yeah, so they're the ones from America that come with all the stickers.
Okay, there you go.
Because my childhood ones are all the pink backs.
The pink back, yeah. So you probably would notice you don't have any of the stickers.
Yeah, no, I'd never seen the stickers before.
Because when I was opening packs, that's what I found I was like, well, hold on a second. Why has some got this red sticker, some don't? And then the more I looked into it, I realized, the backs were different. And that's what I was noticed that when
thanks
the first
again,
card.
Because that is
so many of them.
There's a crap load of cards. So once I've finished figuring out if I can get a set out of mine and them, I might pass them over to you boys if you need any to fill out yours. How many sets did you get out of yours, Scree? I know. Or how many packs do you think you opened when you were doing those?
I don't know a lot of packs. I've got 3 full sets. So I've got the Regina set and I've got 2 of the American sets.
And all stickers?
No, I'm actually missing 1 sticker. I just realized that. I'm missing a sticker. I'm missing the Raphael sticker. So looks like I'm buying more packs. That's it. Packs making stats.
Got it.
There's another one. There's a portrait card one. So like these guys.
Oh yeah,
so the portraits. Yeah,
nice. I can't help you with that then. Sorry.
So I'll just buy more packs and I'll just keep sending them out to people who want to collect the set.
Yeah,
just be like, there you go.
It's amazing how many are still in out there.
Well, that's the reason why I didn't really when I wanted to open them up. I wasn't like, oh, I shouldn't open. I should keep them closed, because when I was seeing the market, there is, like you said, there's so many packets still out there that's still sealed. So I was like, wait, I can do this card opening, get the set, and still do the card opening without going, I should keep one sealed, which I have done. I've kept these ones. I'm finding a little bit more harder to get sealed, but not harder. They're getting more expensive, I should say.
Yeah.
So when I started doing the opening, I think I was getting for like $2 a packet, and now they're up to like what, $11 a packet. So
I think I got them from Carl at the last CollectorCon he was at, maybe.
Carl Abson,
So that's the reason why I kind of stopped it as well, because I did see that the kind of market go up for them as well. I was like, I don't really want to pay. that much money for a card set that I've got three of already. All I'm doing is chasing one card. or one sticker.
Maybe you ripped so many packs open that you like
I made the market go up.
Change the market because there's not
Maybe.
enough left field
Maybe.
after your efforts.
Are you
Yeah,
coming
maybe.
down? Are you coming down for CollectorCon on Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yep, I'll be there.
Nice. All right, because there is a couple of card dudes there, so maybe ask them. And
Card is $10.
Definitely will, yeah.
know
Actually,
what you want.
cards
Even if
$5.
it costs you $10 for that one card, at least then you got a whole.
Yes,
set.
I don't mind doing that either. If there's a card I need, and sometimes it's like you just pay $10 for that one card, it's a no-brainer. You just do that. Just pay the $10, get the one card.
Yeah, I've done that with my odd bod cards. I've bought like a one for like $6 just to complete the set.
But sometimes it's fun just to rip cards open, just to do the content as well. You just get a whole different packet of cards to do the content. But yeah.
Later, Sis Dog. Have a good night, mate. Thanks for hanging out. Just to catch us up on some comments, Carl is saying that he's definitely not charging $11 a packet. Damn.
Yeah.
So
I think
Carl's always done.
$5.
I think
Carl's always done a good deal with cards. Yeah.
Yeah, Carl's the man.
Look,
And
Carl-
Ollie, just going back to the conversation we had previously about the 1990 film and the the deleted scene on that card. Ollie was just making a point that there's no deleted scenes on the Blu-ray. The director's commentaries on YouTube though. Really good listen. The director was fired before the editing was finished. So that's something I've not seen before. Something
That's
I have
cool.
to check out.
Wow. Okay.
And Jules enjoying a little bit of card talk as well, which is awesome. Thank you, Jules.
It's a unique sort of topic. Like when we first thought about it, I was a bit, do we want to talk about cards for 40 minutes? But it's actually been really fun. Like when everyone digs in and gets a bit of history behind it, you learn so much.
For sure.
Well, I guess like with toys, like cards were also a big thing with us growing up, weren't they? Like it was always like a card comic book meet. It was always like I remember like my brothers and I would always have like in the back shed would have all different sets because we'd all collect something different. Like my brother was basketball, my other brother was like football cards. I was always like the X-Men, the comic books cards, and it was just like a thing that we just did. And like I said, once a month it was like a comic book card swap, and just seeing the cards and looking at the ones that are around today and knowing that you had those cards and just the price of them is like, wow, that's insane. But I feel like Pokemon has really like stomped on all that kind of things as well. You don't really see many cards that like Mutant Mayhem, I reckon missed a good opportunity to have a good card set. That would have made an awesome card set. That would have made a massive, that would have made a good card set. I think
they made a foosball table. Didn't even look
Hi,
like
Mike.
How are you,
Thanks
buddy?
for tuning in, mate. So we've got a question from the chat. Scree, who is your favorite turtle?
Donatello.
Mikey.
I'm Team Donatello. Team Donatello. I've even got it tattooed on my arm.
Oh, that's
wow.
sick. Let's get a
Like,
close
How
up.
crazy is that?
That's so
Enzo's
crazy.
Team
Yeah.
Donatello.
What Dan just said. You're filling in for Donatello.
Yeah. So
That's
You make Enzo proud, mate.
So if anyone knows that image, that's actually Mikey, but we made it into a Donatello.
See what you had to do there?
Ruin the immersion, yeah.
You had to use a Mikey shot.
So
I love
Is
it.
that new? Is it? Sorry, Scotty.
Sorry.
No, it's right.
Is that tattoo in the last 12 months when you
It is, yeah.
into it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Bring it
I've
orange.
always wanted like a comic book sleeve, and as soon as I got into like collecting with the turtles and all that kind of stuff, it was like a no-brainer. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it done. So yeah, I got done last year, Christmas Eve.
Wicked, mate.
That's sick.
Still gotta finish
Nick,
those.
Nick, we did rip one pack, but unfortunately Dino won't eat that gum.
Sorry.
So Screw, just going back to Donnie. So was Donnie your favorite turtle as a kid? Like, was there a reason why?
Yeah, so I had a good think about this too. Like, 'cause I always get asked like why Donnie was your favorite, because I kind of do a pattern. Because Donnie was my favorite because he was like the smart, the sort of like nerdy one. Where growing up at school, I was always like not a nerdy one, but I was like the quiet sort of nerd. Like, you know, it wasn't cool to wear an X-Men shirt or a turtle shirt back in the day. You know, where today it's like they're everywhere. They're in JJs, you know, things like that. You were bullied for wearing a turtle shirt or things like that. Where I found characters like Donatello, Billy from the Power Rangers, you know, characters like that were the nerds, the underdogs, I always sort of related to. So that's why I sort of always stuck with that. And Donnie's always been one where I've related to being just the underdog.
That's
So
awesome.
that's my sort of
Donnie's
thing.
a
So
cool character. He doesn't get much appreciation. That's what
No, he doesn't. He's usually the last
machine.
one to pick, which is not great.
Yeah, I've always gone a Leo being my last one. It's just, oh yeah, I think Donnie's cool. He's got cool machines and that.
Did your brothers have did your brothers each have a turtle that they kind of favored?
Yeah, so they did. So we always had it was always Leo and Raph. So my twin brother, because I'm a twin, my twin brother was Raph, and my younger brother was Leo. So it was always and it's kind of bizarre.
Mikey up in here.
They only needed one mate to come over to fill out the lot.
So it was always kind of funny because it was like their personalities did really match us growing up. Where my twin brother was kind of that reckless, kind of always getting in trouble, always angry, beating people up, kind of like Raphael, it's that kind of thing, And my younger brother was sort of just like the quiet sort of, wouldn't say leader one because he's the younger brother, but he was always the smart one, So, and I always said to Donnie, as I related to Donnie as a nerd, quiet, geek kind of character. So, yeah.
Well, in the cartoon, he did lead him a fair bit, like in the right directions most of the time. So,
yeah, he was the solutions guy for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Well, guys, we've blown past the hour and a half mark, so we'll start to wrap things up. Is there anything else you guys wanted to cover off, or share or show off before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I just wanted to show off just a little op shop find.
Yep.
That we had during the week. So we went out to the country for a weekend, the wife and I and the little one, and not often you find vintage turtle anything in op shops, but ended up finding, and I have shared these on my Instagram page, but ended up finding all these vintage TMNT books. Now these were 50 cents. These were 50 cents each, and Sarah actually picked them all up, and she said, "What about these?" And I said, "Yes." And from what I can find, that's
good nick.
They are in great nick, and I remember seeing two of them at the last Collecticon with $10 price tags per book. So
bloody Tony B.
You're playing. That was Carl. No.
He wasn't there.
Well, we walked down from one op shop into the next, and sitting right there on the counter, and she just said you could have it, was the 89 Casey Jones.
Oof.
So just
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any nose rub?
Of course.
Nah.
So that's 2024. Still finding vintage 80s toys. He had to travel out to the country to get it, but it is still there. That was a pretty good. That was like the pickup of the whole year. So
those books, but were in mint condition. Any drawing in it? Any names? Any of that sort of?
I didn't see any.
Nice.
That's like, Scott, you made a comment once before, like finding vintage stuff in an op shop today is wild, considering everyone's got the Google Lens on their phones and know exactly what it is. So just to find random things like that.
This one's been upgraded.
What's color?
Hey, at least they could color in. Jesus.
Yeah.
No, they definitely
skill.
They've done the whole book. So
yeah, they all love that shit if it's done nicely. That's cool.
So yeah, very happy to get those set. I do remember them as a kid, so I think I had one or two of them there. But yeah, awesome.
That's awesome, man. I mean, there is something very satisfying about finding some. Like I won't show them because they're not turtles related, but I found some Goosebumps books last time I was at the op, and they're $1 a piece, and they're not particularly rare, but there's just something so satisfying in 2024 about like finding those, finding something that you genuinely want for your collection at an op shop. It's awesome, man. I love that.
That's snapping off.
I love VTR comment there, and also Mike's.
Yeah,
but that's definitely on the list. We've got a large list of episodes that we want to cover.
Yeah,
that one's definitely there. There's so much of it too. Like I don't even know. I don't think we could even cover a quarter of it in an episode.
No.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to talking merch because, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to the Turtles franchise, it really did hit everything. Nothing was like Turtles free in
No.
in 1990. So and between us all, we've got some cool merch to share as well. So we'll definitely get to that one.
I'll give Dan a shout out because he's always finding the most obscure thing, and we've got our own little chat when he sends things and he's like, check this thing out that they stuck a Turtles logo on. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that the normal tax that I get anyway?
Yeah, slap that Dean tax on, Carl, for sure.
Just back to usual Mike's rarest TMNT minimal card. It'd have to be scratch, wouldn't it?
Nah.
That we have, or
that we have.
Oh, I'm not too sure. I read that as like what that
so
we've got.
Rarest on card would probably be like a black belt story show, or undercover. I think it's undercover. Leo's a hard one to find on card. But scratch you can find a fair few of, but it still is a rare figure.
So what dollar amount are we talking for the black belt Leo?
Black belt on card. Well, a loose black belt Leo with weapons is probably 1,300 to $2,000 or something like that.
Yeah, wow.
On card, you're talking up around 4 or 5 mark. Probably more now. I wouldn't even know. You got to remember it's AUD too.
More than the sail barge, Mike. You can have a sail barge or you can have a turtle.
Because I think when I was talking to Adam, the guy we bought figures off recently, he struggled to find a black belt Mikey.
Yeah.
Story show.
Way out of my price range, that's for sure.
Mock collecting would not be fun. It would not be fun.
No.
Good luck, Scree.
Yeah.
You gotta
it's doing it in the newer figures. It's easy. It's just the vintage. It's harder.
Mate, the vintage ones that you want to get those for the other three brothers, it's doable. Definitely doable.
Oh, 100% doable. Yeah.
It's not affordable, but it's not silly yet.
Yeah.
I just need to stop buying Mutant Mayhem figures, and then I probably can afford it. So
that's why we're here. That's why we're here, Mike.
That's exactly right, mate. I mean, we don't want to do this show just for people that are as obsessed with Turtles as us. Like, we want to shine a light on all this cool stuff for those that aren't hardcore Turtle collectors. So that's totally fine, Mike. That is all good.
I guess we should wrap up. I just want to say thank you to Scree for jumping in.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Lots of knowledge, lots of fun history of your collecting. And I know you've only been doing it for a year, but you got many more years, many more. Have that focus.
Many more.
Have that focus. It's hard. We all break our focus. But you look like you're having a blast with it.
He's the most focused out of all of us.
I'm having the best. I'm having the best time with it. Like, it's not just the collecting. It's like people like you guys. The community. It's insane. Like I said this from like 6 months in. Like, being in the gaming community, it kind of felt like everyone was out for themselves. Like, it was like everyone wants that bit of content. Everyone wants that bit of like spotlight. Here in the gaming, like in the toy community, you post something about you're missing a figure from a line. Within like an hour, you get like 4 or 5 comments saying, "Hey, what's your address? I'll send you one." And it's like, wait, what? It's like, how much you want for it? They're like, no, I got you. And it's like, so I try to replicate that as well, as much as I can as well, because it's been unreal. I love it. That's why I haven't stopped, because it's so cool.
And you've always been a massive supporter since we ever started the Mutagents. So really appreciate that, mate. And it's been good having a good chat with you.
I'm like here at episode 10, man. I can't complain. This has been amazing. This has been awesome. It's been good.
It's been great having you, mate. Guys, everybody watching, if you're not following Scree on Instagram already, there's a link to his Instagram in the description below. There's also links to Dan and Dean's Instagram, as well as Dean and Sarah's YouTube channel. On that note, Dean just dropped a TMNT pickups video. So if you're keen to keep enjoying some turtle content, definitely hop over to Totally Tailored Retro Hunters on YouTube, link in the description below, and check out Dean's latest video. I'll be dropping a video hopefully in the next 2 days of our latest toy hunt. And then obviously we got Collecticon this Sunday. So looking forward to that. I'm hoping to see some of the guys in the chat there.
Yeah. The video I dropped today is all TMNT, guys. So go. You love it? Go love it.
Be on it.
Give it a watch. Go show some love. But guys, that will do us for today. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. And we'll see you back
everyone.
next month for episode number 11. And we'll be welcoming Enzo back then. So enjoy the rest of your trip, Enzo. We'll see you next month. And I'll see you guys soon. You guys have a good one.
Take care, guys.
Thank
See
you,
you later.
everyone.
Bye.